Hey TMFG community, John Iaconetti here with Carlo Cansino. In today's episode of Ask TMFG, we're going to be taking a look at saving for your retirement without a pension. Remember, if you do enjoy our content, like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We love doing these videos for you. In today's episode of Ask TMFG, we're going to be focusing on saving for retirement without a pension. We know a lot of Canadians and even some of our own clients are in this situation where they are looking to save for their retirement and really have no place to begin. A lot of Canadians have a pension or something offered through their employer, which is a great start, but a lot don't. So we'll give you the breakdown on what you should be focusing on to make sure you're able to get to your retirement. Carlo?
Thanks, John. So, unless you're planning on working forever, you need to replace your income when you end up retiring. And how are you going to do that without a pension? Well, there are many types of investment accounts that you can utilize to create that pension for you, to create that income source. You've probably heard of many of them: RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plans, group RSPs. Perhaps your employer provides some level of group benefit where if you contribute into a group RRSP, they will match or provide some level of support from a contribution standpoint. There is the tax-free savings account that you can utilize, which offers tax-free growth on any investment income that's earned. You don't get a contribution receipt for it like an RRSP, but it's still an area where you can save to grow your income source to retirement. If you're fortunate enough to be able to maximize those tax-deferred and tax-free accounts, another option would be investing in a taxable investment account. The most important part about building this retirement income source is having a plan. So whether that's working with a financial advisor to determine how much you need to be saving into those plans that will get you that income that you require, or if it's doing it on your own using software that's available to you through your bank, through your investment dealer, you need a plan to know how much you should be saving.
Exactly. And then we really start to figure out what accounts you should be prioritizing, and then also how much, in terms of percentage, should you have from your gross income going towards these savings. And it all depends on your individual situation, and each one of these accounts that Carlo had mentioned has their own individual features. For example, the RSP does provide a tax deduction. So if you are a high income earner, it is in your best interest to be putting money towards the RSP, because every dollar that you put away is going to be reducing your tax bill. Now, there's some pros and cons to this. Obviously, the pro being the tax deduction that you receive. The other con to this is that this money is now essentially going to be locked away until retirement. You can access it, but it will be taxable upon the withdrawal. It doesn't quite make sense until you're into that retirement stage. Now, another account that you can prioritize is the tax-free savings account. Now, one of the pros to these accounts is gross tax-free, but it's entirely liquid. So if you needed to access the money pre-retirement or even post-retirement, you can do so without having to pay any sort of taxable capital gains.
Now that we've discussed the types of investment vehicles to use, the big question is, how much should I be saving? And that depends on what your circumstances would be, how much you are earning and how much you can put away, what your retirement expenses will be, so how much will you have to put away to be able to satisfy those expenses. Typically, we see directly to retirement savings, 10 to 15%. Ideally, you'd be saving 20% of your gross income, but 10 to 15 of that should be for your retirement savings, long-term savings for when you're no longer working.
Yeah, and how do we get to this point? Well, I guess the two main tools that we utilize, first of all, is a financial plan. Getting a good understanding of your retirement expenses so you know how much you need to save in the coming years in order to get to that point where you feel comfortable that you're able to finally call it quits and officially retire. You need to have a plan in place in order to do so. And the second tool that we utilize is something called pre-authorized contributions, or automatic deposits to your RSP. And the reason why these are so beneficial is, frankly, we're all human. If the money is remaining in our bank account, we're going to spend it one way or another. Instead, what you should be doing is focusing on yourself first and paying yourself directly into your RSP as soon as payday happens. That way, your 10%, 15%, or 20%, whatever that number is for you, is automatically invested, and you can live your life and budget yourself on the remaining amounts.
We're students of the wealthy barber. Paying yourself first. Treat it like an expense so that when it's gone, it's not thought about. You can't utilize it for month-to-month or day-to-day expenses. That's our episode for today. Again, if you do like our content, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Provide us with some comments. If you don't have a defined pension plan, what accounts are you using to save for your retirement? Or just give us a like. Until next time, I'm Carlo Cansino.
I'm John Iaconetti.
And this has been Ask TMFG.